I I thought I was doing better for a while, and I was. I made a lot of progress fairly recently over the last couple of months, especially in my mental clarity, and my memory has improved a lot. And I was doing better physically to a large extent. But for some reason, and I got busy. I try to keep busy anyways, but I try to fill up whatever time and energy I can do. So I got more busy, and then I was ignoring these videos because, I wasn't paying attention to them. But maybe a couple of weeks ago now, something like that, I did quite a bit more physical activity and walked in a parade on the 4th of July and everything. And it was too much, so it threw me off, and I haven't really recovered again. And it seems like my level of physical activity, I can walk for like 2 hours now uh, before I start feeling pretty bad. And that's about it. So I've been a little disappointed in that too, because I thought, if I was making progress, maybe I was getting better, and I would be able to do some more things, get back to some more adventures, that type of thing. But it seems like I'm probably not going to get back to the adventures. So my expectations raised, and then I realized that I probably wasn't going to meet those, and so I started feeling bad again. But I've been doing the writing. I've been doing more studying of writing than writing, so I kind of delved into that a little too much. Even wrote an article on studying writing more than applying writing. uh, but it's been going good. I even have one article that made like $195, I think it's at, something like that I did last week. The two articles before that made a grand total of like 4 cents combined. So it's all over the place. It's hard to tell, but every now and then one gets a decent amount. I've been doing more teaching, which maybe hasn't been helping because I've been sitting like this and I've been more physically active while teaching for more hours during the day, and maybe that's messing me up. I'm not sure. But I have, because of my mental clarity, I've been able to write more and I've been able to read more. So I finished a few books, and that's felt really good because it's been really weird as my reading comprehension's gone down. I've never really experienced a low reading comprehension before. So that was really, really odd. And I'm hoping I can pick up a few freelance writing gigs. We'll see how that goes. I applied for some on Upwork. I did that before and didn't get any, but now I think that I've done more blog posts on my own blog. Maybe that'll give me more credibility. Maybe I'll be able to land some of those. So we will see how it goes. I've also, because I think it's important to always be doing something, always be moving something forward. I mean, we've all heard tons of stories about all the people that you finally get to retirement and then they stop, they don't have anything else to do, and then they die. And I think there's other things to those stories. I think to a large extent that's sometimes a false correlation. Nevertheless, I think the point is correct. To slow down and stop doing stuff is basically destroys you, or I think it would in me. So I always try to have stuff moving forward. I looking at doing tutoring for reading just for adults in the local area for like 1 hour a week, or something really light. But I think that would be really interesting. And they do some writing with that. Probably not going to be very advanced writing since we're working on reading with them, but could be really interesting. And actually, I mean, stories originally were oral, so they weren't written. So it won't limit their capacity necessarily to come up with a plot, to come up with characters, all of the advanced parts of writing you can do even if you couldn't write very well. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think it'll be fun, so I want to at least look into it. I believe next month I'll do an orientation, and then the next month I'll do some training, and then the next month I'll start. So it'll be super slow, won't take up very much time at all, but should be really interesting. So I'm hoping that goes well. And we're down to 2 chiropractic adjustments a week, just Tuesday and Thursday, right? We originally started a couple of months ago at 6, so it was 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Saturday, so 6 total. And then we worked it down to 3, just 1 on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and now we're down to 2 Tuesday and Thursday. We've been trying that for the past couple of weeks, which also correlates with the couple of weeks that I've been more active, been trying to be more active, which also correlates with the amount of time that I've been feeling worse. So, not sure, I probably should have not been quite as active or something in there to give it a real test. But I obviously I have to back off. I don't really have a choice on being active and doing physical stuff. But I'm hoping that I'll adjust to getting adjusted twice a week and then hopefully move down to once a week. I mean, it'd be better even if I could move it less than that, but I think once a week is reasonable and pretty easily manageable. You know, 2, 3, 6 times a week for chiropractic adjustments is a lot. So I want to keep working that down. And I believe that's most of my interesting stuff for now. I really need to work on what doctors call managing expectations, like if things are going to turn out bad. I usually am fairly decent at that, but once I started getting a little bit better, I got a little too enthused, a little too quick. My expectations rose. They weren't managed properly. Now I feel bad about that. So I have to get a little bit better at managing those. But otherwise, things, well, I mean, things look pretty bad from like a financial standpoint. They're horrible. uh, and then from a physical standpoint, it's kind of hard to tell. It's a little unknown. It might, it's always kind of unknown, I guess. But it's a little better than I thought a couple of months ago, but it's a little worse than I thought a couple of weeks ago. So we're still managing with that. And then the writing is over the last couple of weeks, I've had a little bit harder time concentrating again. Whenever I get more pain and I can feel my neck getting thrown off, it doesn't work as good. My mind just isn't as clear. So I've done a little less writing, and hopefully that's probably the most important aspect to me is the mental clarity. So hopefully I'll be able to manage that, and I'm kind of willing to give up the adventure stuff. I mean, I'm not really. I would prefer to do the adventure stuff, but if I have to give it up for mental clarity, then that's okay. That's reasonable. I mean, it's what's needed. But I have to get better at something managing the expectations somehow, some aspect of that. So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on the writing skill. So those are really the two things I'm focused on, and hopefully those lead to good things. But they're open-ended. I have no idea where they're leading, so we will see. But until next time.